getting worse on YouTube Live. Took like 7 attempts to get it to start. I don't know. I don't think it's here. I think it's with them. But I'll restart this out later to see if that's the issue, but I don't think so. Yeah, it can't be because I was using a different laptop Sunday and they did the same thing. I don't know. It's got problems. All right, the platform's got problems. Anyway, I'm doing a taste challenge, mid-morning taste challenge. I have two 40% alcohol, 80 proof American blended whiskeys. This is Kentucky Gold, introduced in 1956. Blended whiskey, 80% grain neutral spirits, 20% straight whiskey. Blended and bottled in Kentucky by Quality Control Distilling Company, also known as Heaven Hill. Aged 3 years. Kentucky blended whiskey. I bought this in Kenner, Louisiana, and it at Star, and it was $6.99. Purchased last week, $6.99. Down here it says 20. It says 24 twice. So 2024 bottle. You can tell it looks new, like nothing's faded on it. So there you go, $6.99. Crazy, right? Now here is well made. Now I saw somebody selling this for a price that was too high. This is a liter bottle. I've seen it in the plastic handle bottles also. I didn't like the price, but I'm pretty sure I saw it in the handle. Yeah, but this is the a liter, which is your typical bar well drink size. You go to a bar or a restaurant, they'll have liter bottles. My friend David said that's a law. I don't think it's a law. It's just what they like to use. Well made, looks like a brand from out west, in the ranches. Well made, WM trademark liquors, premium quality American blended whiskey, 80 proof, glass bottle, not plastic. Says on the side here, 79% grain neutral spirits, and it's from Diageo. This is a line of liquor for the bar. Well made for the well. That's a term used for the rail whiskeys that they'll use. You say, give me a whiskey and Coke. Sure, they'll charge you for like what you should be paying for a Jack Daniels and Coke, but they'll give you this and Coke. I paid $9 even for this bottle. I can't remember the store I bought it at, but I found it at a store and I asked the man, and he thought about it. He said, how about $9? I said, I'll take it. You know where it was? I remember it was at Star, but not the one in Kenner. Well, there's two in Kenner. It was the one in Gretna on Belle Chase Highway, Louisiana Highway 23 in Gretna, Louisiana. They had it. So I do like the label design, black, white, and gold. Pretty sharp looking. Now, each type has a different color. The vodka's red. The gin is like a turquoise or green. I think green. There's like a Canadian whiskey that's purple. There's a tequila, might be brown. The rum might be red or something, or like a yellow, something, but each one has a different color, is what I'm trying to say. This is common for these liquor companies to put out a line of well liquors. There's another competing from California. It's called Concierge. I see it at a lot of Mexican restaurants. Concierge. And they got the same thing: gin, rum, brandy, whiskey, tequila, and that kind of thing. All right, vodka, of course. So here we go. Introduced in 2017, 8 years ago. And I like right here, they're showing a piece of wheat or barley, like a little sprig of wheat or barley. It's a classy looking label, but it's from Diageo. They got the money to put out decent looking stuff. You know what I mean? No, I mean from London, England. They can put out sharp looking labels, even for basic stuff like this. So yeah, Diageo, the people that make expensive products like Johnny Walker Blue Label for over $200 a bottle. They also put out stuff like this, which is $9 for a liter. in my case. Heaven Hill, same story. They put out expensive products like Old Fitzgerald, 10-year age, might cost you $85, $90 a bottle. They got other stuff that's even more expensive, super priced. And then they put out very, very inexpensive liquors, gin, rum, brandy. Why do they do that? Well, they want to touch bases, right? Big company, Heaven Hill, the Sad, Pernod Ricard, Diageo. Who's another big one? Kirin, or what is it? Jim Beam, Suntory of Japan. They own Jim Beam. They all do it. They want the super expensive. Some of them $5,000 a bottle, or 3,000, or 2,000, or 300, 400. 400, 300, 150. The ultra premium. They put those out, but the sales are very low on those. They don't make much money off those because very few people are going to pay the money to buy that kind of stuff. Those are more like showcase products, just to win awards at competitions and legacy. Oh, I forgot Moet Hennessy. Moet Hennessy is a Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy, LVMH. That's the name of the company, LVMH, Louis Vuitton Moet Hennessy. Then they'll put the mid-range out, your $45, $50, $60 bottles. Johnny Walker Double Black, your Crown Royal Reserve 12-year, Jim Beam, what they got? Jim Beam Single Barrel, Evan Williams Single Barrel, those kind of things. And then you got our Jack Daniels Sinatra series, about $80 a bottle, Frank Sinatra series, collaborated with his family because I don't think he was involved with that. And then you got the low, really cheap ones. Because some people are like some people got money, but they won't spend it. Like where I can find a lot of these low shelf products are in the well-heeled part of Metairie, Louisiana, close to the country club, with beautiful houses that, I mean, you could hang $100 bill free, and no one would take it, So, but they got people like that. They got a lot of money, but they won't spend it on anything. They'll drive an old car, and they're going to buy cheap whiskey. You say, nah, they do have people like that. I know people like that. Or it could be a case where you got people that don't have the money, and they just buy what they can afford. And then some people, of course, we know the credit problem. Some people don't have money, but they want to live like they do, and they're extended out on credit. House note, 2 car notes, all kind of credit card bills, which is the worst scenario because that's a no-win situation. So, but whatever the reasoning or whatever the scenario, these companies produce low-end products. Now, I could show you the website, except they don't exist. So there is no website for Kentucky Gold. There's no website for Well Made. George Wilson says, Well Made, we shall see. It is well made. Link says, Outlaw Merch, how did you acquire? I like that new beer. It's cheap and low ABV. They watched my video and they thought it was cool. And they were saying, we loved your video review. We'd like to send you some merchandise. I'm not going to turn that down. You could say I'm bought off. I'm not bought off. They watched the video and they saw I gave it a good score, so they approached me. And then they paid for $100 worth of beer. And the purpose was give it to people, see what they think, try to promote it. No problem with me. No skin off my back. And I'm going to give honest feedback. I gave it to 2 people already, and they said C. They scored it a C average. They would not buy it again. A guy told me this morning, that stuff was bitter as hell. I don't find it's bitter, but whatever the flavor, he didn't like it. Honest, that's what I want. Not games, because you got it free, so you're going to say it's good even though you know it's not. Hey, the company's saying, they told me they want the same feedback. They want honest. I'm fine with that. I like the sweatshirt. It's comfortable. And I think the beer is fine. I don't know if it's going to succeed because, I mean, you jumping into a treacherous market. Light beer is flooded with mainstays like Natural Light, Keystone Light, Bud Light, Coors Light, Miller Light. So it's really hard to break through in that market. There's another new one called Garage Beer. I don't know who the parent company is of Garage Beer, probably a company I've heard of. And it's like a craft light beer, 4.2%. But $16.99 for a 12-pack? A store manager asked me the other day, did you try the Garage Beer? I said, no, not for $16.99. I mean, I bought the Rogue Imperial IPA, 9.6% alcohol, fabulous beer. That was $12.99. I think I'm paying $16.99 for a light beer. I don't think so. Hey, at least the Outlaw was $8.99. $8.99 for a 12-pack. That's where it needs to be. No, I'm not paying no $16.99 for that. Oh, I wasn't tuned into the stream to hear that. Okay. Yeah, George Wilson, right. The company sent it. I wasn't reading the comments. The merch looks good. Black, a good clothing color. That's nice of them. It was nice of them. As a company, always seek to induce goodwill from the customer. I think so. They had some problems getting me the beer. And I think a couple of the guys, at least one of the guys got upset about it with the company. I didn't get upset. It took like almost a month to get it. It was really just technical issues. They said the store kept telling them they didn't have the beer, and I told them I'm looking at it on the shelf. I think he was calling the wrong. That store is a chain. They have other locations. I think actually he was calling the wrong location, which was funny, you know. But I kept telling him, why you don't just get on the website and order it through the website? You know, you don't have to go through a girl on the phone saying, we don't have that. You know, a lot of what they're talking about. And secondly, a lot of times they don't want to even try to go find it. I mean, you know how these stores are. You know this. I was like, if you get on the website, you can bypass them. You order it. I'll go pick it up. Well, finally, they did what I had told them the first day. I said, why don't you just send a gift card, a Visa gift card? It's what Schlitz did in 2009. They sent me it came in the mail in like 2 days, maybe 3 days, something like that. I think they were sending it from San Antonio. Might have been Milwaukee, but Milwaukee's like a 2-day shipment. So after all of this, they sent me the Visa card online, an email. No problem. I got on the store website, typed it in, put the information, and in 30 minutes, I was at the store picking up all the beer. It's funny because they asked me, well, how do you think we should go about this? I gave them the advice, and they wanted to do it a different way. And finally, it came back to they did it the way I tried to advise them to do it from the start. And I can let people try it, but I certainly can't make people like it. And I don't want people lying to me because I gave them free beer. And I don't think the people I'm talking about are going to do that. In fact, they'll be more abrupt. They'll just say, I hate it. You know. Oh, man. Now, so the appearance here. Uh-oh. I didn't pour enough of this Kentucky Gold. I don't want a lot of it. I think it is a good idea for companies to create goodwill. Not a good idea to alienate your consumers, which we know some have done. Won't mention that one from 2 years ago, but good morning, says Alex, clinking the mugs. Thank you. Good morning to you. Okay, so this is the Heaven Hill Kentucky Gold, and this is the well-made. Well, they look about the same. So as far as appearance, nah, there's no appreciable difference. Copper. Maybe you could say amber. I'm saying copper, but maybe it's amber. Here's sirens. That's not a good sign. Hey, Pabst sent me t-shirts before. They sent me a t-shirt. They gave me like 3 caps. They gave me that bumper sticker that's right there where I'm pointing. It says, what do you have? And I gave one bumper sticker to Henry's Bar on, was it Magazine Street, New Orleans? Because they always big into Pabst. Like every time you go to Henry's, they got people drinking Pabst on draft. It's like a big Pabst place. Not the only beer they have, of course. I gave the guy, say, you want this bumper sticker? Oh man, that's awesome. And he put it somewhere. And Pabst sent me those cooler, you know, those things you put the beer can in, the cozies. People call them koozies, but I think it comes from the word cozy, like it keeps it cozy and not cozy and warm, not cozy and cold. But I don't use those because I never drink beer out of a can or bottle. I just drink it out of a glass. But Blue Moon sent me T-shirts. They sent me glasses. They sent me a bottle opener, which you don't need for Blue Moon since it's a twist cap. Doggone Modelo sent me a cutting board. I still have it. Cutting board. 2 gold rim tulip glasses. Beautiful glasses. I broke one of them, sad to say. And they sent me beer, $50 worth. Schlitz sent me that Gusto Guy T-shirt. They sent me the cap. Oh, no, I ordered the cap. Never mind. I ordered the cap from Schlitz. I paid for the cap. And then Schlitz gave me the beer. Of course, I had to go to the football stadium and give it out to people. That was the deal. I mean, I could have taken the money and just told them screw up, but, I wouldn't do something like that. I took it to the Superdome, and we would give the Schlitz beer out to people. We did that for at least 2 games. And, we had to take photos to prove that we were doing it. And Schlitz people were like, oh, man, that's awesome. And they gave me business cards to give people, most of whom probably threw it in the trash. But I think I still have some of those business cards somewhere. So to me, those promotions are like fun, not an attempt to get free beer. Because like I say, it's always the company coming to me. I didn't ask. I did the Schlitz thing because they had it on their website. It was like, sign up for this program. So I signed up. Have liquor companies ever done this? No, they haven't. They might not like my taste challenges. And of course, wine companies haven't, because I don't hardly do wine reviews. It takes me like a month to drink a regular bottle of wine. You know how long it's taken me to drink those 4-liter jugs of Carlo Rossi? Seemed like a lifetime, but it's a wonderful. I love that Carlo Rossi, the Chardonnay and the Burgundy. It's so well made. Now you might say, you don't know good wine. I guess I don't. But I'm enjoying the Carlo Rossi. Oh, yeah, and Pauliner sent us a bunch of beer. Man, those guys were sending so much beer, even English beer, because they were in collaboration with, what's that stuff called? London Pride. They didn't own London Pride. They just distributed it. Man, I miss London Pride. I was proud to drink it. I'd love to try Outlaw. Unfortunately, in Moorhead, Kentucky, it's nowhere to be found. Yeah. You can't try it if you can't find it, huh? Now, I may never see it. They got 1 6-pack left on the shelf over here. And hey, I may never see it again. It might disappear like so many others. Might go the way of the dinosaur. I used to buy Bud Dry all the time. Bud Dry, that was my standby beer. I could get a 12-pack for $5.98. $5.98, 12-pack. It was in 2010. I buy it all the time. It was good, but then it got discontinued because it looks like I was the only person in America that was buying it. Burley Sullivan says, you. Hey, Burley, cheers back to you. Have you ever been on a judge on a panel at a beer competition? I was offered to be. They asked me to be a judge on a beer panel in Houma, Louisiana. I told the man, I said, I'm not a certified judge. He said, oh, yeah, but we watch your videos. You know what you're talking about. I said, okay. I said, but how am I going to drive, 45 miles, taste all this beer, and then drive home? He said, good point. And besides the fact, I didn't really feel like doing it. I'll just tell you the truth. It didn't seem like something I'd want to do. Now, if it was in my town or close by, I'd probably be more motivated. But I wouldn't say I have any particular interest in doing it. But I might. I'd be fair about it. Certainly wouldn't. You got to be fair because it's a blind taste test. Should have brought Dave to drive you. Yeah. That would have been a worse idea because he would have judged a lot of beer, everything. But I would have too, so that could have been. Could have got one of the women to do it, but they don't want to sit around, like, oh, they're going to sit around for hours while we judge beer. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. Wrong, not fun. Candy corn, vanilla, oak. 20% straight whiskey, 21% straight whiskey. That's an unusual, you don't ever see that 21%, but that's what it is. 79, 21. 79, 21, kind of strange, huh? It is odd. The number is odd. 9 and 1 are odd numbers. Huh? Uh, hmm. Yeah. Oak, vanilla, corn, candy corn. Now I said the same for both, but I don't think I said it in the same order. I think one was more prominent than the other. Something. But to say that the smell is very different, the aroma, it's minimally different. Now I know this one's aged at least 4 years because it has no age statement, which by law means it has to be at least 4 years. There's no option there. This one says 3 years on the bottle. So does the aging make a difference? It might. We'll find out right now. Here we go. Taste. Yeah, tastes like just generalized whiskey. So the well-made is actually cheaper. It would be $6.75 if I put it in a 750 milliliter bottle. $6.75 if they sell it in that format. I don't know. This was $6.99. You say, well, that's 24 cents. I know, 24 cents, but it is a difference. It's not much of a difference. Okay, so let's just say they're about the same price, which is the truth. So we can't use price as a factor because it's irrelevant. We can't use it as a factor because they're the same. And it looks like flavor is about the same. And availability is about the same, meaning in my area, not available. You say, well, you found them in your area. Yeah. Stumbled across them. Not well distributed here. Definitely not. Do we get American blended whiskeys that are well distributed here? Yes, we do. And it's not neither one of these. They're about the same price, but what is your opinion on the Outlaws can design? I like it. I like it. I don't love it, but I like it. I like, light blue is not my favorite color, but the gold and white is, yeah, it's fine. Got this antlers and Outlaw. Kind of reminds me of that Eagles Greatest Hits. What was that from 1975? It was like one of the best-selling albums ever. Had that, it's kind of a desert type of Western theme type of situation. I'm with you, Ron. It's so-so. What you mean so-so? The can design or the product? I think they did a good job on the branding. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. And they did sell it at the Tulane football games this past, the can design. I don't think it's so-so. I'll give it a B+. Very good. Not an A, B+. Oh, and by the way, they didn't just have black. I could have ordered gray or khaki. I just thought the black looked the best. Same thing with the cap. They had a gray, khaki, and so forth. But they did have the Outlaw at the Tulane games this past year. That's where I first saw it. Because the 2 years before, they had Montucky Cold Snacks, Montucky Cold Snacks, which was also $3 a can. Now, at a college football game, $3 a can is about the cheapest thing you'll ever see. And you're probably not going to ever see that. But we took advantage of it and we drank a few. Oh, and also this past year, they had Miller High Life for $3. Once again, Miller High Life for $3. And guess where the line was? You guessed it, for Miller High Life for $3. People were drinking that like it was, and don't even ask about the student section. They were getting a little out of hand with the $3 Miller High Life. Did I prefer the Outlaw over Miller High Life? Oh, I did, man. They're about the same. And Outlaw has a little richer flavor, maybe. But yeah, I don't drink a lot at the games. I drink one or two, and then I'll just be drinking. Usually, I just drink one. Now I just drink water. Honestly, the rest of the game, just drink water. Can't be bought just like a politician. Yeah, but they can be bought. I'm just telling you the truth. Now, could I be lying? I could be lying, but I'm not. I'm just telling you, you got to trust me. I'm not lying. Would Kentucky Gold and Well Made compare with 10 High? No, because that's a bourbon. So it doesn't really cross over. Did you say they have flavoring added? These may have flavoring added, but they don't indicate that on the bottles. On the other hand, American blended whiskey does not have to indicate that. They can add flavor and they don't have to disclose it. Nice little benefit for the company, right? They can add flavoring and coloring and don't have to tell you. 10 High is a bourbon with flavoring. So that's a different animal. Not much difference, but a different animal. In my days, we simply bought flasks filled with Jim Beam and had a good time. Okay, I understand that. I haven't been to a game in a long time, though. I go to a lot of games, college baseball. They sell beer and mixed drinks there. Cocktails, beer, daiquiris. I never buy that. So the price is outrageous. $6.50 for a pint of Budweiser? No, that ain't happening. Not in my case, it ain't. I'll just drink water. I gladly drink water. I'm not paying $6.50 for a can of Budweiser or Bud Light or Coors Light. They can keep it. But I know some people, they just got to have it. They'll pay it. You pay it. I ain't paying it. Don't even ask about the shots and the cocktails and the Crown Royal and the Tito's. I'm already getting ripped off when I buy the food. You know how much food is at a game. This tastes like a pretty good whiskey. I like that, like the like fermented grain, which means corn and rye and probably a little malted barley. It's probably almost all corn though. And I know 80% of it is unaged corn liquor. You want to call it moonshine, it is. But it has a good flavor, medium body, dry finish. I like it. But I recommend Kentucky Gold. 8 years ago, I'd have said avoid, 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 alert, avoid, alert, avoid. I would have said that. Now I'm saying, hey, it's pretty good. They've done some work on this. Done some work on this. Let's go over here. All the more reason for the flask, and we felt that way back then. Well, I saw somebody with some Fireball that he brought into the stadium Sunday, plastic bottle. He didn't buy it at the stadium. And some of those places like Louisiana State University, New Orleans Saints, they're going to metal detect you because of supposedly threats and all, which we know from New Orleans history can be true. But if you got that all plastic bottle, you ain't getting detected. Just saying. People say plastic, plastic. There's no good use for plastic and liquor. Well, I just named one. Plastic cap, plastic bottle. No metal detector problems. No. You can take that any way you want. Will you be doing any live streams later this evening? I doubt it. No uploads till tomorrow morning, about 2:45 a.m. Live stream, unlikely. Upload, no chance. But tomorrow, yes, more to come. Tomorrow night live stream, any beer for Carnival. which doesn't apply to too many areas of the world, but it does apply to some areas of the world. Louisiana, Mobile, Alabama, Brazil, Spain, Portugal, Italy, southern Germany, Belgium, France, Luxembourg. Yep, Carnival. Good stuff. Don't know what it is. I was kicked out of a game with buddies because we were seen drinking from our own plastic bottles. Yeah, you got to be careful. I'm not advising people to do that. I'm saying you got to be careful. My father would take the whiskey bottle, and I don't know what whiskey, I never paid attention, in the 80s, and he would have it down here watching the game. He'd have his Coke, from the fountain. He was pouring it in, and then he'd mix it with his finger. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this, and then he's drinking it. So he was like really careful. And I would just shake my head, like laughing, kind of laughing to myself, like, oh, that's dedication. Yeah. Uh, him and about 10,000 other people at the game. But some people don't know when to stop. You'll see him around the fourth quarter laying on the bleacher, laying, they're out, they've had it. They've had it. A lot of these girls, you see them around 1 in the afternoon, woo, yeah, baby, and it's like, okay, baby, they're having a good old time drinking those daiquiris and hurricanes and what they call that, the punch, that kind of punch, the jungle juice, and yeah, baby. Now you go past, you pass that same area 3 hours later, they face down in the grass. I've seen it so many times. Face down in the grass. I'm thinking, man, this is not good. I mean, but I don't get involved, but you're just asking for trouble. Doing all that, you're asking for big trouble, but I can't control the world. Tommy Carroll says, praying for the old Pope. That I know he's sick, but they say he was doing better. He was watching Mass on television Sundays. So can you explain what Holy Tuesday is? I don't know what Holy Tuesday is. I never heard of it. Unless you're talking about Holy Week. That's the week between Palm Sunday and Easter. If that's what you're talking about. Holy Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Good Friday. Remember when people could smoke at games? Oh, yeah. I went to the Superdome in 1983 to watch the St. Louis Cardinals at the New Orleans Saints, which the Saints lost a game. I was irritated to no end. They lost 27-10, I think. But I was sitting in the upper deck and my eyes were watering. It was so full of smoke. It was like a cloud of smoke. It was unreal. Then the next year they banned smoking in the stands. But people would always smoke just sitting in the seat. And then eventually they banned it altogether. You can't smoke in the Superdome. Now you got to go outside. They got a little smoking area fenced off outside. And you see hundreds of people out there crowded. At halftime, they'll light up, Oh, they're so relieved. I remember people smoking in the grocery store. I remember people smoking at church, not during the service, but like in Sunday school, because I used to be Protestant. I wasn't raised Catholic. He was smoking, talking about the Bible. Well, let me tell you what the Bible says. I'm like, but you didn't think of it. Like, it didn't seem unusual. It was just normal, Ronaldo Bafaldo, cheers, says Drewski Brewski. Cheers to you, Drewski Brewski. Now, let me call this contest. It's been going on too long. We had some good times talking, But I remember those days, everybody smoking at all times, But you didn't think of that. You didn't think about it. I think this is a tremendous airplane has smoking and non-smoking. I remember that. That was so normal, Going to the airport, everybody smoking. We were waiting in line to check in from Costa Rica in 1985. Costa Rica. My grandmother said this man's in front of her with a big cigar. Smoke going everywhere. My grandma said, "How can he smoke like that? It's choking me." And I was like looking at her like, embarrassing me, man. Like, that's what people do, you know. I think this is a real challenge. Um, I don't think there's any significant difference between these two. I don't think I would advise one over the other. I would say, like, I'm going to say, if you buy these two or you find these two, which chances are you probably not going to, but let's say you do, I would shop price. Honestly, I would shop price. And as it calculates, it's about the same price. So why worry about it? So I would say that Well Made wins and Kentucky Gold wins. It's a tie, but it's an upside tie. It's not like a downside, like they say, kissing your sister. It's a win for both because they both taste good. They both have good qualities. I'm not tasting anything off, anything nasty, anything repellent. Now, is it wonderful, amazing, or I gotta find it? You knew that before the video started with nothing like that. But solid, mostly mixing whiskeys, cocktail whiskeys. Yeah, sure. Why not? I cannot see a person trying these and honestly saying that they are nasty. Now you get people that do videos on YouTube and they'll be like gagging, all kind of antics like, "Oh, it's so bad. It's the worst." I'm like, why'd you make the video? Because it's not like that. You clearly made the video as like clickbait because you wanted people, and then their screenshot is like, I was like, oh yeah, I see what this is all about. This is not a real video. This is like you're trying to get people to watch the dang thing. They're going to say the worst things about it, and all their descriptors is going to be outrageous. It's the worst. It tastes like raw veg. It tastes like my compost pile. It tastes like my trash compactor and all of this. Like, nah, it doesn't taste like that. Yeah, and I watched your Budweiser video also, and your Budweiser video was a joke. And it wasn't a funny joke. It was stupid. All right. If you want to say Budweiser is bland and ho-hum, fine, because that's what it is. But to get on the internet talking about it's the worst thing ever and you would rather drink, and the things they say, I would rather drink fill in the blank than Budweiser. It's like, A, you wouldn't drink that. Or they'll say something even stupider. If I went to a party, no, you see these people, they drink all day long, make videos. If I went to a party and the only thing they had was Budweiser, I'd just drink water. No one on planet Earth would believe that. No one in the world would believe that statement. You know as well as I do, if those guys making these videos went to a party or a wedding reception and the only beer they had was Budweiser and they weren't paying for it, you know as well as I do, they're going to drink Budweiser all night long and they ain't going to drink a little bit of it because it's free. Enough's enough. I could say a lot more about some of these video reviewers, but I'm not going to yet. Probably never. All right. I'm going to say that this one is the Heaven Hill, the Kentucky Gold, because I think it has a little bit more vanilla, but I'm certainly not in any way sure about it. Aha! It's the Well Made. Well, I did not have a good feeling about this when I went into it. I didn't have a good feeling about it when I first started the series. So if I and I lost track of the contest, but if I finish 50-50, I'll be glad. But I said that the first video, if I finish 50-50, I'll be glad. Maybe I did. Okay, last comments. You're right. It's just for reactions and baiting the audience with thumbnails. It's sickening, You see this with music, like John Lennon said Paul McCartney was a ... I'm like, yeah, I'm not watching that. Then you watch the video and it's like nothing. It's like it doesn't even relate to the title. And now YouTube sent me an alert about 2 weeks ago, said they're really going to go after people on this. They said they're about to crack down on people. So they said, just a warning to you. Well, I don't do that, so it wouldn't matter to me. They said, we're coming after people that are making videos that don't cover the topic that the title implies it's going to cover. I was like, it's about time. Now, they're not going to go after people that make antics with Budweiser. Like, for instance, Budweiser beer claiming it's horrible when it's not. They can't really control that. That's just stupidity, you know. But you can kind of go through videos and you can see who's serious and who's a clown, you know. And you can kind of get a handle on that. And AI voices narrate the right. AI voices narrate the videos. Right. Right. Exactly. I see those all the time. And Sonny Bono said, share. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, why am I watching this? And of course, I immediately cut it off. Anyway, y'all take care now and see you next time. But guess what? Let me say this to you. Next, we're going with bourbon. We're going back to bourbon, back to bourbon, back to bourbon. I have a Kentucky straight sour mash bourbon that most everybody has never heard of, including me until I saw it on the shelf for $8 for a liter. Great product? No, not a great product. Enjoyable? Yes. And remember, $8 for a liter of Kentucky straight sour mash whiskey. And it looks like this one has been on the market since 1933. Yeah, it's sourced. You know it is. All right. Anyway, y'all take care now. Bye-bye.